Hello folks, welcome back to another video from eClass Tutorials. Today I'm going to give you a basic introduction of Steinberg Cubase 12 Pro. Don't worry about the version of Cubase because almost all the functions what I explain in this video are common in all the versions of Cubase. Okay, we will open this one. It takes a while to get loaded. Okay, this is the startup window. Here in the left area, latest Steinberg news and video tutorials are displayed when connected to an internet. I don't have internet connection right now, so nothing is shown here. Let's look at the right half of this window. You can see 6 categories here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, recent, recording, scoring, production, mastering, and more. Whenever you open Cubase, the default selection will be on recent category, and in the recent category you can see whatever projects I have done before in this computer. Previously I was using a different system, so here in this system there are only few projects showing in recent category. If you are opening the Cubase for the first time, then there will not be any projects in this area. Nothing will be shown here. This area will be empty. And in the recording section you can see many presets of different types of projects. Here you can see 16 mono tracks, 8 stereo tracks, 16 MIDI and 8 group tracks plus FX tracks. Okay, all these are recording presets. Multi-track recording is enabled in all these project templates. All these presets are different to your taste or your requirement. Here you can see 48 mono tracks, 24 stereo tracks, 48 MIDI tracks, 16 group tracks and FX tracks. This is a huge project. Okay, so if you are about to start a project like this, you can simply click on this and add instrument to each track. And in scoring category you can see different types of orchestral scoring music sheets. Okay, and here in production there are different types of presets are available of different genres. And in mastering, stereo mastering is available, one preset, and in that basic mastering template with stereo enhancer and dynamics inserted in master bus. EQ and additional plugins can be added as per our taste. Okay, insert effects can be rearranged using simple drag and drop. And in more category you can see an empty project. If you are about to start from an empty project, you can just click here and just click create. An empty project will be created. So before creating that one, we have to locate the project folder and we have to give a name to the project folder. In my system, my Cubase projects folder is in new volume D. This is the Cubase projects folder. Okay, and I enabled this button. It means use default location. So every project I do on this system, a new project folder will be created in this Cubase projects folder. For a new project, if you are doing, you can give a name to every project here. By clicking here, I've given Cubase demo in the same project folder. This folder will be coming in this Cubase projects folder. Then no need to come to here and then click here, then click here. From here you can directly come down. Let the selection be in any of these categories. You can directly click on this create empty button. Okay, and this is the Cubase project interface. If you are opening Cubase for the first time, this may not be the screen you see. You will see a screen like this, maybe like this, or maybe like this, or maybe like this, or even like this, or even like this also. Okay, anyway, this is the full interface of a Cubase project, and the main display is divided into 4 areas. This is the right zone, this one is the lower zone, this one is the left zone, and this one is the main timeline. So this lower zone, right zone are not necessary to keep it open every time. In lower zone we can close it here. Another way to close is these 3 buttons. This one is for opening and closing lower zone. This one is for opening and closing right zone, and this one is for opening and closing left zone. Left zone is required to keep it open for some time. So we'll just go through the functions and features of this interface. So here at the top you can see, like every software, there is a menu bar at the top. You can find different options in file, edit, project, audio, MIDI, scores, media, transport, studio, workspaces, window, VST cloud, hub, and help. These are the upper menu, including tools, undo, redo, mute, solo, listen, read all tracks, automation, write automation, suspend all automation, scroll settings. These are tools to manipulate the events in the timeline, and this is for coloring an event. This is snap to zero crossing. I'll explain it in the upcoming videos. This is grid on off, but also I'll explain later. This is grid type, which type of grid you want to see here, and this one is quantize preset. This button is to apply quantize, and audio warp quantize and open quantize panel. This one is MIDI remote mapping assistant, and these three I explained just now for opening and closing 3 zones. This is the setup of the upper menu. This is the setup toolbar, and this is the main interface. This is the place where we will add tracks, and we will record MIDI, we will record instruments, we will record audio, everything. By default, this input and output channels are set for every project. We don't have to create input and output channel, or we don't have to connect it to input and output channel for every project. At the bottom you can see some other buttons. These are called transport bar. This one is auto quantize button, and these are go to previous marker, go to next marker, show extended transport controls, these two, and this activate cycle or loop. This one is for stopping the playback. This is for playing. We can use space bar instead of clicking this, and this for recording. These are time display, primary time display of events. This is the tempo of the project, and we can change by clicking and entering your required tempo, or simply you can click and drag up or down to change the tempo. And this is the time signature. By default the tempo will be 120 and the time signature will be 4/4. You can change it by clicking here and editing. You can change to 3/4 or 7/8 or whatever time signature you want. And here you can see this one is metronome. If you click on that, metronome will be enabled, and this one is count-in timer. For recording purpose you can activate count-in, and this one is audio activity, input and output monitor. Here you can see the MIDI in activity. Here it is MIDI out activity. Audio clipping default input channel. Show audio activity and levels. Audio activity default input channel. Show audio activity levels. Audio activity main mix output channel, and audio clipping main mix output channel. Okay, all these are displayed here, and this is the setup transport. So here you can see some tools. There are more tools available here. Only these things are selected. If you click on other things, that also will appear here. I selected only whatever tools are necessary for my working. Okay, we will see how we can create project. So for that we have to create a track. Let it be an instrument track or MIDI track or an audio track. So first we will add an instrument track. So for that just simply click here, add track, or simply click the T button on your computer keyboard. By clicking, this window appears, or here if you click, this window appears. Here you can see different types of tracks from which you can choose which kind of track you want. There is audio track, instrument track, sampler track, MIDI track, group, effect, VCA, marker, a ruler, folder, or even more tracks you can add. Tempo track, signature track, arranger track, transpose track, chord track, and video track. These are all the tracks you can add to this area. Okay, and here you can choose from the audio inputs. Here you can see this audio track is selected, so that's why it is asking to select which audio input you want. You can see here my audio interfaces name Steinberg UR22 MK2 input 1, then configuration mono, audio outputs bus 1, and here you can give the name of the track and then just click add. We can give the name later also. If you click on the keep dialog open, then if you add track, this dialog box will stay here, but we'll get a track here also. Just click here, one track is added here. Next, if you want an instrument track, you can select the instrument from our computer. You should have some instrument plugins installed in the system. In my system there are many plugins installed, so I'll choose core tritone only, and audio outputs bus 1 same, and here also name I will give later, add track. So now I am switching off this option. So then if I click, this window will also close. Here one track is created. This one is an instrument track, this one is an audio track. If you want to move this track upside, we can drag it like this. Now this instrument track went upside, and here you can see some parameters. This track is selected, so all the things shown here are related to this track. See, after adding the track, here you can see different buttons in this area. So here M stands for mute, S for solo, and this is the name of the instrument or track, and this one is for enabling the record mode, and this one is for monitoring the events here, and this one is edit channel settings, and this one is for editing instrument, and these two are automations button. This for reading automation and this for writing automation. So this show lanes. Okay, first we will edit the instrument by clicking here. The tritone plugin will be opened. This is the tritone plugin. This is a small plugin. Its size is below 300 MB only, but the sound quality is very good. After adding every track, here you can see some properties. This is the volume of the track. By default it will be in 0 dB, and here this is the balance spanner. By default it will be at the center. You can move it to the right and left. Okay, so in this core tritone, by default this noisy stabler instrument is selected. Now I am playing this with my mouse, now with my MIDI controller keyboard. So for changing the sound, just you can simply click on the arrow here. Now acoustic piano has come. Or else we can go to browse, and here you can see the categories of instrument, and here you can see the character of the instruments. Click on each category to find hundreds of instruments here in each category. You can see in keyboard acoustic piano, studio stage piano, stage electric piano actually. Legato strings. For a demo, I'll show you how to create a rhythm. We'll select this drums and we'll select standard kit. I'm playing from a MIDI controller. So for creating drums, you can simply enable this metronome counting, and after choosing an instrument we can name this track also. We'll name it as drums, and just make sure that this record enable is on. If it is red, it means it is on. Okay, click it once again. Now it is off, now it is on, and while it is on, come to this button and click here to start recording, or simply you can press star key in the number pad of your computer keyboard. Click here. Okay, and now it is very small area. You can zoom it, move this cursor to this area, up area, anywhere. It will change to the zoom tool. Now if you want to zoom this area, click here and drag down. Now you can play that and listen how it sounds. After recording also you can change the tempo here, no problem. It will adjust to the new tempo. And only one loop is recorded, and you can copy this loop to how many you want. You can just simply click here and drag right like this. Or other way to do this one is just click here and simply press Ctrl plus D. It's how we can copy it, and you can just play and listen. Okay, but I think the tempo is very less. We'll make it 200 and see. This fourth one will give a change. This one is snare sound. This MIDI editing I'll show you in the next videos, so you don't worry if you don't understand this one in this video. This timing, everything I'll explain in detail. So it will be like this. Here we'll add one tone also. Like that it goes. Okay, so at the top you can see a region selection. Okay, from 1 to 8 bar, first bar to 8 bar. From here the 9th bar starts. Like I said before, zooming in can be done like this, clicking here and drag down, and drag up to zoom out horizontally. And there is another way to zoom in horizontally, is clicking the key H on your computer keyboard, clicking H to zoom in horizontally, and clicking G to zoom out horizontally. And if you want to zoom vertically, just click Shift and H, zoom out vertically, Shift plus G. Okay, if you want to enable a cycle from start to end, this region is selected now. And if you want to play these drums like a cycle or a loop, just click here. First you have to select the region. Now the region is selected from first bar to the 8th bar, and click on the activate cycle button, or simply you can click on the slash button on the number pad of your computer keyboard. Now this color has changed. This indicates that the cycle is enabled. When the cursor reaches here, it goes to the start automatically and then plays again without stopping. Hope you understood that. So this one is not required. You can select all this at a time. You can delete by clicking on the delete button on your keyboard, And like I said, for zooming in and out, you can just click and drag down and up, or simply clicking H button. And if you want to fill the screen with the total length of the project, then you have to click on Shift plus F. Now the project is fitted to the size of the screen. If you want to delete a track, you can right click, and here you can select the remove selected track, and if you click here, this track will be removed. Or you can simply click Shift plus delete. I'm clicking on Shift plus delete. The track is deleted. Now if you want to add one more instrument track, you can go here and add. Another way of adding track is right click in this area. Here all the track types are showing. If you want to add an instrument track, just click here. Here also we'll add tritone only. Audio output is bus 1. Name we can give it later, and count how many tracks you want in one click. If you select 5, then click on add track. 5 tracks will be created. And if you don't want these 4 tracks, then you can just click on one track and hold Shift, then click on the last track. Now all these 4 tracks are selected. Then again click on Shift plus delete. All the 4 tracks are deleted now, and you can choose which instrument should be played in this tritone. For that, just click on this edit instrument button, then click on the browse. We will choose a chord, okay, slow synth, that which instrument we should select. For any other instrument also you can select. If you want piano, we'll play along with the rhythm. Okay, we'll start recording the piano here. We'll close this one. That much is recorded. And if you want to edit the recorded event, you can just double click on that. Here are the recorded event. So if you want to change any timing or any note, if you played a wrong key, you can just click and drag to the correct note. And I'll select this split tool to split it here. Here also we'll split it. Okay, this is how we can create tracks and add instruments and play and record our music piece. And for exporting also, you have to keep this selection start and end. And if the selection is somewhere here by default, and if you want to make region selection to the corresponding events, for that you have to just select the entire event or entire clip, entire music you created, make sure that all the clips are selected, then just click on the key P for police. Okay, now the selection jumped to the selected events, and now you can export this music piece by clicking on the file, and here you can see export audio mix down. And if you want stereo mix including these two, you can click on this bus one. Now it is enabled. Here you can give the name, you can give the destination folder, and here you can select which format you want the file to be exported: WAV, MP3, AFF, FLAC, OGG, OBIS. Any of these formats you can export this music. And here is the sample rate. You can choose from 8 kHz to 192 kHz. That is related to the audio interface we use. My audio interface supports up to 192 kHz. I am using Steinberg UR22 MK2, and this one is the bit depth from 8-bit to 64-bit float, and this one is interleaved split channels, mono down mix, left right channels from surround. This will decide how these channels will be exported. And after choosing all these options, just you can click on the export audio. No need to enable this real time. By the name itself you can understand that real time export will take whatever time the song have. If the song is 5 minutes long, the system will take 5 minutes to export. And while exporting, you can see the cursor playing like this, 5 minutes, but the quality of the file exported will be better if you enable this real time export. I will choose project folder. Okay, you can see here demo wave. Before exporting, make sure that this mute and solo are not enabled in any of the track. While playing, you might have enabled mute for listening the piano only. Now only piano is audible. If you mute this one, only drum is audible. And immediately if you go to export, then you may not be thinking that this one is muted. So before exporting, make sure every track is audible. Okay, mute and solo also. If you click on solo, all the other tracks will be muted. After making sure, you can click export. Now it is exported. Here you can see demo. So this was the length of the song, that's why the exported file also having the same. Okay, and for creating music, you should have an audio interface, or otherwise called an external sound card. A MIDI controller keyboard is very helpful for creating chords, creating melodies, and a mic, and of course headphones also. So all this I will explain in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned, be with me and support my channel. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.